Hi there, and welcome to Profitable Impact Weekly, where we cover some of the lessons that we learned in our business through the last couple of years, and we want to share them with you. So for those of you who don't know us, I'm Kat.
And I'm Kim. Hello.
And we're co-founders of Profitable Impact Academy, where we help entrepreneurs get more clarity, confidence, and clients through the power of public speaking. Today, we really want to talk to you about the lowest point in our business and how we overcame it. It's really a story that taught us a lot, and I know you will get a lot out of it. But first, let me just point out, I know all of you wondering by now, Kim's hair, I know. It looks amazing.
It's so funny. Thanks for just
get that out of the way. Love the hair, Kim. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah. So guys, so we want to share, sometimes it's really easy to only share the good things that, we're both pretty positive people. And so often, we're sharing lessons and we're not always sharing the story behind how we learned the lesson. And so this week is actually a pretty big week. I spent a lot of time being very introspectful. I mean, let's be real, there's just a lot going on in the world. But this week is actually the 1-year anniversary of me suffering a brain bleed a year ago. So it was a year ago Sunday, I was in the hospital, and we were not in our home city, in a different city. We were actually there for a business meeting, and I went to bed one night and I was fine. And the next morning I wasn't. And Kat had to rush me to the hospital, and first they said, well, it could be a stroke. Then they thought maybe early onset MS without any diagnostics, but and it turned out I had a bleed in my brain. And we were in this really weird time in the business. So we were just coming off the high of a very successful 3-day event. It was our second one, I think, at that point, but our business model was not working. So at that point, we were actually called $1 Million Sisterhood, if you're newer to watching our show. So we had a different business name, and our business model was actually a membership platform. And we were really struggling hard. Like, we were hustling so hard to make that business model work. Like, putting in so many hours, basically not getting paid anything, just like donating our salary back to the company to keep it afloat. And we had a real disjoint. And so when I got sick and I couldn't work for about a month, and Kat was doing everything on her own alone because I couldn't even be on the computer, we had to sit down and have a really good look at what wasn't working. And we went after I was better, and we spent like a day with one of our mentors. And it was really from that, like, literally, guys, like, our business almost on the point of failure. Like, we should just give up. Like, why are we working so hard for no money? And why is it something that was like, I think at that point we were only asking $47 a month for our membership platform. Mm-hmm. And it was still so hard to sell. And people just we would get a little bit of interest, but not a lot. And so when we sat down, what we really uncovered, and so when you have that moment of like just a hard stop in your life, and it really makes you evaluate your values, really what we looked at were 3 W's. Is, first of all, who are we, but who do we want to work with the most, right? What is the problem we want to solve? Because there are lots of problems we could solve for people and entrepreneurs. And that was part of our problem, was we were trying to solve them all for people and not speaking to anyone. And, and moving forward, what was that going to look like for us? And what's the third one? I'm missing one here. Who, why? And why, right? Why do we do what we do, right? Why? And why were we like ride or dying on this membership platform that wasn't working? And it was really going back to those 3 things. Like, why do we do this? Like, why are we so dedicated, that we want to keep pushing through when all indicators were saying it was time to shut it down? Who did we really, really want to work with, right? And like, what was that problem we could solve? And it was from those that we just got so much clarity. And it literally led to, that was literally where Profitable Impact Academy was born. It was from looking at those 3 W's and going back to what is it that we were most passionate about creating in the world. And the thing that we'd seen that was working, where we were actually getting some sales, was from when we were speaking. But what wasn't working was the tactic we were trying to use to deliver what we wanted to do. So So we were trying to talk to every, and women entrepreneurs specifically, but we weren't saying like, hey, we solved this one problem. We were saying, hey, we solve all the problems. Come on over to our membership club. We're gonna like solve all your problems for like $47 a month. And it just wasn't possible. It just wasn't possible. That's why it wasn't working. And, you know, and as soon as we got that clarity, things shifted very quickly for us. And now, you know, I don't know about like you, Kat, but I work less hours.
Yep.
Right? Like we have a hard stop. We really don't work weekends unless we're hanging out with our mastermind and doing events for them. And so much less time. And it was, my health was really like a hard stop for us in the business to really look at, okay, what do we need to do to make this work? And I think for a lot of people, that's what happens. And that's why we want to talk about it, because we don't want other entrepreneurs to hit a hard stop in their business because of health or because they run out of financial resources, right? That's like one of the reasons why we're so passionate about it. But I don't know, Kat, I feel like I've been talking the whole time. What do you think?
So if you are really spinning the wheels in your business right now, if you feel like you're a hamster in the wheel, just constantly hustling and trying to do something and you're not getting that far, chances are you just don't have clarity around one of the W's or all of the W's, right? So again, it's the why, the what, and the who. Right? The more generic you are, the more blanket statements that you use in your business, the harder it's going to be for you to get clients. Here's the thing is, I get it. What you do can change a lot of lives and potentially the whole world, right? But the more specific you can get, the more people will be attracted to you and they will be coming to you as an expert in that specific area. And that's how you start gaining traction, is you just gain as much clarity as possible about who do you want to work with, right? And I'm guys, we tried the whole women entrepreneur. It's a really big umbrella. It's a really big umbrella. So get niched down. I know you heard it so many times, but really do. This is what's going to make a difference in your business being hard or being easy, being in flow and constantly hustling. Being capable to spend time with your family, or being out of commission like Kim was and not even being able to do anything for herself, never mind her family. You're building a business not just to support your tribe and support your clients, but you're also building a business to support yourself and your own dreams. So make sure that you gain clarity on who it is that you want to work with, so it doesn't feel like it's always so hard to attract those people. The more details you can get on that, the easier it will be for you to identify the one person in the room that you can help and support. So you're not spending the next 20 hours talking to 20 different people. You just talk to that one because you know you can help them, you want to help them, and they're your ideal client. Then what problem do you actually solve for people? Again, chances are what you do solves a lot of problems, but what's the one you want to focus on? It's the really first layer, the first thing that your clients right now are struggling with. That's the first problem that they need fixed before everything else, right? Before you can move on to the next problem and the next bigger thing. There's always that one piece, the one piece of the puzzle that you need to help them with before they can move forward. And why do you do what you do? So really, it's your personal story. And each one of us has our own. The reason why we chose speaking is because speaking made such a huge difference in our lives. For me personally, it helped me get more confident in myself and in my business. I gained so much clarity about who I am, but also what I want for myself. Hey, I know you've been in your 20s, and chances are 20s are kind of a blur, where you just did everything and you just, still were figuring out who you are. Speaking on stage for me helped me figure out who I am and who I want to be. And it helped me get there. And so find your why. You're an expert in your area for a reason, and chances are your best client is where you were before you found your one thing, before you found your modality, your expertise. And so again, it's who, what, and why. Answer those 3 questions. And if you want to, just drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you, right? Why you do what you do, what problem do you solve for your clients, and who are your clients? Who do you want to work with? Let us know.
Yes, love it. So That's the thing. The more, and you guys, this is really the point of this show is we don't want you to think that everything we're doing is perfect, right? Like we've had so many mistakes, so many falters, so many fails. But if you keep pushing forward, the more clarity you get on those 3 W's, the easier it gets to connect with exactly who you're meant to work with. And we're still working through that, right? Mm-hmm. And every time we do our quarterly review, our messaging changes just a little bit, and our core values, you know, they fluctuate just a tiny bit, and that's okay. Your business is its own living, breathing entity, and it will demand, just like ours did, it will demand some type of flexibility from you. But don't give up. If we can do it, you can do it. Okay. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your business. If you need to, do the deep digging and the diving and the scraping and the pinching until you find the answers that your business really wants you to have. Because for me, more than anything, with my health scare, it was almost like a catalyst. There was no reason. The doctors have no reason why I got sick. But to me, it was like a message saying, like, you're on the wrong path, and now it's time to find the right path, right? And everything shifted so quickly in the business for us as soon as we got that clarity. And that's why we talk about clarity. We use that word all the time, clarity, clarity. The more of it you have in your business, the easier it gets. It's so hard to describe what flow feels like until you're in it. So if you're not sure if you're in flow, you're not in flow. The only way I can describe it, because if you feel like everything is hard and a struggle and a hustle, you're not in flow yet. Okay. So I don't know. How do we wrap up this episode? I don't know. It's just such a, there are so many anniversaries happening for us.
Yeah.
For each of us individually. Like at the end of this month, I'll have been an entrepreneur for 3 full years since I left my corporate job. It's the anniversary of our business right away, like business number 1. It's the anniversary of this business, number 2. It's just, and there's just so much going on in the world right now. And there's so many skills.
I'd love for you, not you, Kim, but you watching us, drop us a celebration that you have in your life right now. We want to celebrate with you. Let's celebrate together. I know there's a lot that's been happening in the world, but I know there's a lot that's been happening in your life as well. So drop us a comment. Let us know, what do you want to celebrate? Let's celebrate it together.
Love it. That's a great way to end this week's show. Okay, thanks for being here.
Have a good one.